I don't like this fucking meme that somehow a video is less good or less objective, quote unquote, because you don't use the word I in it, or you intentionally try to not frame the video as if you're saying this is what I think and this is who I am. Because literally everything you say is going to be personal. It's going to be your opinion, because you can't speak on an objective basis about most things. Like, most things are just your opinion. They are not provably true. And when I see people complain, is that I've gotten this complaint more lately, is that, oh, Outlaw, your videos are less good because you're talking from a personal standpoint. You're saying I had this experience when you talk about the context of these ideas. But my only question to those people is, what other lens do I have to look at those ideas from? If I try to recite the experiences of someone else, those experiences are inherently going to be colored by my perspective, because my eyes, my perception is always going to be my own. I can try my best to understand what the other person's perspective is, but ultimately it's going to be viewed through the filter of my opinion. It's going to be viewed through the filter of my perspective. And so I'm upfront about that. I don't pretend to be someone who I'm not. I don't go around and say, oh, I'm an objective guy. I'm gonna say the truth and only the truth. I say what I believe to be the truth, and I say what I believe to be right. But ultimately, that is my belief. I can only believe what I believe is true. And it makes me really angry when I see this criticism, that I'm somehow less objective in my videos just because I say I. That's such a, English teacher thing to say. Oh, you shouldn't use these pronouns in your writing because it makes it look less official. That is the most standard thing you could possibly say. It has no logic to it. There's no logical underpinning that says that that's true. It's just a standard practice that everyone does without thinking about. Because once you put it under any logical scrutiny, it does not make sense. Because every single thing you're going to say is subjective. So why can't you just say, oh, I feel this way. I had this experience, and now this experience relates to this topic, and that's the reason why I feel this way about this topic, and let's explore the idea a little bit more in depth to go to these other conclusions, and this is what these people have said. It's exploring the idea to the furthest extent that you can. I believe that you can only do that if you include yourself within it. So I got this comment, just today that was saying, why? Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to speak this way? And it drove me up the wall, because it seems obvious to me that these things are subjective, that it's my opinion, and the goal of my videos is to share my opinion, my thoughts, my analysis of a specific topic or a specific situation, to talk about the ideas. And when you listen to it, you may disagree, but the goal of the video is not to get you to agree with me. It's to get you to understand where I am coming from. And if you understand where I'm coming from, you can now use that knowledge in your daily life to better understand other people who may feel the same way. That is the goal. The goal has always been empathy. I may empathize with you better from reading your comment, and you may empathize with me better from watching my video. But it's a cultural exchange. It's an exchange of ideas. It's not me forcing you to think about the truth or what I believe to be the truth. I may want to convince you on some ideas, yes, but ultimately the main goal of my videos is to be understood. Because I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm better than everyone else because I don't use personal pronouns, or I'm better than everyone else because I have to say that I'm objective and use science. That's not what these videos are about. I'm a normal guy. I'm a normal guy giving thoughts and exchanging ideas, I'm no different than anyone who comments on these videos. And that's what makes me really mad, is because it's as if these people put this artificial sense of superiority on YouTubers. They say, oh, you're an official, so you have to speak this way, or it's less professional, or it's less, you know, it's less suit and ties. You know, I'm not gonna run around with this air of arrogance and superiority. Why aren't you doing that? And it confuses me so much, because I'm just a normal guy. I'm just a guy making videos on the internet, talking and writing. And so when you put these things on this pedestal, when you say you have to be objective and you have to speak in an objective way, it just doesn't make sense to me, because I'm no different than any of you. I'm just sharing my thoughts the same way that you would in a comment. I don't know, man. When I see stuff like this, it really confuses me, because I think the reason people like my videos is because it is just sharing my perspective, and I'm not saying that you're right or wrong inherently. I'm just trying to be understood about my perspective. And then when people relate to that, when they feel the same way, they can identify with it, and they say, oh, you know, I relate to that. I feel better now that I've heard someone who feels the same way. Or, you know, they can say, oh, I disagree with that, but you made some good arguments, and I respect where you're coming from. This is how I feel. That's how discourse works. You know, it's not about what's right or wrong. It's about sharing ideas and trying to come to the best conclusion that we can under a subjective framework, because ultimately that's what it is. You can't prove something objectively. You can't say this is objectively true, but you can come to the best possible conclusion that you can under a subjective framework. That, you know, the things that we believe to be quote-unquote true are only true because enough individuals have come together to decide that they are true. And logically, over time, we've seen that that truth has been consistent, that the water has still been wet and the sky has still been blue, but ultimately those are perceptions, those are observations that we have made, and that enough of us agree upon. It doesn't mean that they're quote-unquote objectively true. That just means that those are the things that we all can agree upon. When you get into things like opinions and, you know, trying to understand ideology and how people think, it's so personal that you should just be upfront about it. You should talk from a personal angle, and maybe you convince somebody, maybe you don't. It just depends on how they feel about the evidence that you presented, and that's okay. Not everyone has to agree. Not everyone has to talk from, you know, this arrogant standpoint of, like, trying to be objective and trying to talk like you're better than everybody else. Sometimes people just want to share takes. Sometimes people just want to say, I feel this way. This is my story. And if someone enjoys that, if someone likes listening to that, how am I at fault for sharing that? How? What have I done wrong? Just because I've shared something that people enjoy. If it makes even one person happy and it doesn't hurt anyone else, how am I at fault? What have I done? That's what I don't understand. Is that, you know, as long as I'm not doing anything hurtful, as long as my videos make at least one person happy, I don't see a reason to come at them and say, you know, you're saying I too many times. You're talking from a too personal of a standpoint. It just doesn't make sense to me.